Hey guys, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to my 20 subscribers. I know it sounds like a drop of the water in like this grand scheme of things, but every single drop of water is what eventually fills up the pot. So, thank you so much. For I had like one subscriber for the longest amount of time I have a YouTube channel. I don't know who the random person was, but then after these videos have come out and just consistently putting them out as well, and you guys for supporting them. This has been a really powerful practice for me personally as well. I'm doing this for me, selfishly in a way. As much as I love helping you guys, and as much as you guys are getting value on my videos, and trying to help, people who want self improvement, trying to help younger generation. I'm doing this for me. I'm making these videos talking to younger Cohen, who was 15, 16, 17, 18, up to 20, who was just so addicted to pleasure, so addicted to instant gratification, so addicted to video games. He wanted to play video games. He'd watch videos on video games. He'd watch Twitch streaming. He'd read Wikipedia pages about video games he never even played. Just because he wanted that constant distraction and the fantasy. So I'm doing this younger self. My younger self who didn't know anything about meditation or journaling or gratitude lists or knowing how important like interaction was with your peers. I was such a lonely kid, and I always thought of myself as an introvert. I always thought myself as an introvert, but I'm not. I do actually like people. I can be happily by myself as well, but people and people as well also bring something out of me as well. Talking with people brings something out of me, so... The fact you sit here and listen to this 26-year-old bisexual Buddhist guy here just rant and rave about the things he's figured out and the stuff he's struggling with at the moment, it really... It makes me feel heard in a way, right? It makes me feel seen, and it makes me feel that I'm just not crazy, There are other guys on the path, other people on the path, who are just also trying to get by, but not just trying to get by, trying to win, trying to succeed. And while kind of seeing in our modern day society, there is no grand narrative, In the early eras of life, there was the Industrial Revolution, then there was World Wars, then there was the Cold War. We had all these grand narratives in the early 20th century. I think 9/11, the 90s rolled around, the internet came around, and then the grand narrative has stopped, really. Outside of COVID, outside of maybe, Russia bad or whatever, what is the grand narrative? Capitalism's doing well. Communism hasn't really got a kind of like foothold in terms of like a credible ideology. What is the narrative? And the narrative is, rather than these big, the 20th century maybe these large outside events in history, the 21st century is now humanity coming back to itself. We come back in and we look internally. Especially over the pandemic, I think a lot of people turn towards spirituality or magic, because we had to sit inside and sit indoors and, get real with ourselves. Who can we become? Who can we turn to, really? Ourselves. We have to just get current with who we are, and sit here for ourselves. So, I'm really grateful to have you people behind me and to have people joining my cult and, I remember hearing once there was a Joe Rogan podcast was having a Duncan Trussell, but before Hams even came up with it, it was talking about, like, why isn't there, like, a positive cult? Like a positive cult for growth and improvement. It always ends up in sex and drugs and fucking money laundering. Why isn't there a positive cult? And Hamza's gone out and proven that, and I hope to prove that as well, You can have a cult of people who are obsessed about one thing and one thing alone, Self-improvement. And everything that comes under, because the limit of human experience is so deep and so rich, and we're only living on the top 10%. Modern day society, the bare minimum, you go to work, you get by, you go out for drinks, you do whatever, you're just you're kind of existing, you're kind of just being, with the actual depth of experience, what you can actually learn and actually improve, like, what is it, the meta level skills you can learn, like sleep and meditation, there's two meta level skills that benefit every area of your life. It's so rewarding. So I'm so grateful to be on this path. I'm so grateful to be here with you guys. And I thank you for your support. Let's get to 200 subscribers. And then after 200 subscribers, let's get to 2K subscribers. And then 20K. And then who the fucking knows, man? But I want to thank you guys for the first 20. And let's hope to many, many more. Take care, everyone.